I was told, like, women listen, men talk.
You've done a lot of public speaking. You mentioned the UN, and you said earlier about a TED talk. You've done, I think, speaking at the Vatican as well.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you first of all develop the skill of public speaking and then get those gigs?
Yeah. Well, I would say I grew up very shy. I was born in a very conservative Indian household. I was told, like, women listen, men talk. It was very patriarchal household I was brought up in. And I was very conscious, and I had a huge inferiority complex as well. I never felt confident about what I was thinking and whether it would be appropriate. Yeah, I grew up very, very shy and in a very conservative Indian house where I was told that, yeah, girls speak, men talk. Also, don't speak loudly with elders. So I feel a lot of social limitations I had to overcome in just sort of coming through. Getting my own voice and knowing what that voice is and why should I use my voice has been a big question. I still remember after I quit the bank, I started my journey as a coach trainer. I've coached over 500 coaches to become coaches. And part of that training was to go in front of a training room and teach people about how to coach. And for me, those were the most incredible learning days where I really pushed myself. And before I even started the coach training, I had to enroll coaches to come to the training to learn. And I went to a university in Mumbai, and I asked them if I might present to their students because this might be a good career alternative for them. And they said, "Oh yes, we can bring about 600 students in the auditorium." And I didn't expect that kind of positive response. And I said, "Yeah, sure." And I still remember standing on the stage there with my knees shaking and thinking, why did I put myself in this spot? Because I have never spoken in front of a crowd. So I feel part of me is a risk taker. I learned to dive before I learned to swim. So I feel like I just go out and do stuff, and I figure out how to do it when I put myself out. And in terms of even when I look back sometimes at my TED talk at St. Andrews, which was in 2015, the first time I looked, I have a very critical mind, and I said, "Oh, that doesn't work. That doesn't work." Like, I wouldn't put it out at all. And then the next time I played it on mute, and I just watched myself, and I looked at myself through the eyes of my parents. My parents don't speak English. My parents would never have imagined the life I live, and that they would have created that as a possibility for me. And so when I looked at myself through the eyes of my parents, I was in tears, and I felt so much joy and so much pride for myself.